have been working on Ode to Joy and Hard Rock Blues.
Well, why don't you play one of them for me?
Okay.
Okay. Take your chin and see if you can touch your toes with your chin. Make that funny face. Okay. You feel how your mouth got round also? All right, your reed is touching your chin. You got the clarinet, you're holding it correctly, but you got it in, you got to drop it because you don't want your chin touching this part of the reed. You don't want to hang on the reed but your lip. Look here behind all the fuzz. I want you to look right here. Look at this. All right, so I got it down where the chin is not touching it, and the clarinet's at 45. You could probably raise your horn a smidge, but don't get Dixieland on me. Play the first 4 measures and see if you can get that chin away from the reed. Well, you got to drop down. Yeah. All right, so you don't want to feel that pressing on you. All right, I want you to try something else. I'm just going to show you, then you can imitate. All right, watch what I'm going to do. What did I do?
You didn't take a breath between.
Right, I didn't tongue. I just played the air. I do the same thing. Play all the way through that 4-bar phrase without, you don't worry about the tongue. Okay, we're going to talk about breathing here for a minute. Let your grandmother hold your clarinet.
I'm videoing.
Your
Okay,
your grandmother's busy.
I can hold it with my other hand.
It's okay.
Good.
All right, William, lay flat on your belly right there on the floor. Turn over on your back. I said on your belly. I was obviously bass backwards. All right, reach up here and get that big old book about Thomas Jefferson. Put it right on your stomach. Turn it the other way. I won't be up to the chest of you. All right, use your stomach muscles and push the book up and down. Okay. You remember the trick we talked about? Breathe. Put that in your mouth with your teeth right on the syllable part, and then take the biggest breath you possibly. Open your mouth wide. Put it in your mouth. Hold it with one hand. Don't make it harder than this. All right, take a huge breath. All right, take a huge breath and make the air go to your belly, not up in your chest. Okay, this one ain't working for you. Get up. Let's try a different one.
When you breathe in, the book should go up.
Cut this out of the video.
Give me the belly of your horn.
To breathe correctly, when you breathe in, the book should go up.
Can we cut this?
Yeah, we'll cut this part.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Get up.
You can get up now. We're going to try a different
Up.
one. That exercise ain't working for you. William? I'm not sure what that is growing on your reed, but we're going to take a second to clean the reed before we do
Ooh.
this. You shouldn't have a brown spot in the middle of the reed. That's never a good sign. I think I have a quick solution. All right. Stand up.
This makes it really awkward. I don't
I'm
Stand up.
sorry, this is for Iris.
Yes, Grandmama's gonna find a way to make this less productive than it could be. All right, I want you to get up on tiptoes. Take a deep breath. And try to make the air go down here. All right, you can exhale. Don't even gotta hold your breath. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. I can still show my own kin. All right, come here. Get back where you can put your weight in. Put your fist right there on my stomach. Get back where you can get stiff. I want you to push as hard as you can. Lean in. Hard, come on. All right, don't let me breathe this time. Push hard. Okay. So we know that I don't do a lot of exercises and sit-ups to make my six-pack strong. You know, there's a muscle under your lungs called the diaphragm. You know that? Now you do. You take my word for it. There's a muscle called the diaphragm. The diaphragm is about the size of this part of your leg. It's one of the biggest muscles in your body. You know what a bellows is? Like that thing you pump to make the fire go. You ever seen a picture of an old-fashioned fireplace? Okay, you're not making this easy. When you're breathing, the reason you couldn't play that whole 4-bar phrase is you took this kind of breath and you filled your neck up with air and a little bit of the tops of your lungs. All right, have you ever looked at a diagram of the human body? You know what the shape of the lungs is. Little up here, big down here. So when you take a throat breath like that, which is what a lot of people do, all you've got is about this much air and a little bit in the top of your lungs. When you use the diaphragm to pull your lungs down, it sucks air all the way to the bottom of your lungs, which lets you play a whole lot longer on one breath and gives you much better breath control. Okay, so that's one of the things you want to work on. Most people, when they lay on the floor, can feel the weight of the book. I should have used the Bible. It's heavier. You can do that with you. I mean, you can make your belly stick in and out with your muscles and look like you're doing it right, but you want to actually feel the air. Yeah, and if you if you think back to when your sister was just a baby laying on her back sleeping, if you look at a little baby sleeping, what moves?
Stomach.
Right, they don't lay in bed going, because they're so young, they're breathing naturally, and that's what you want to do. Actually, what I'm talking about is the way we ought to breathe. All right, so put your reed back on. That's about as far as I can go without turning pink. But you can do 9, 10 measures on one breath. You don't usually have to play that long on one breath, but sometimes, in some music you do. But it also it fills your horn with air. When you breathe up here, you're never gonna get a real good tone. Play 4 bars on one breath with good tone quality. Get a good one before you start. And don't touch my hand when you breathe.
Ooh, it's very minty.
Yes, very minty. Listerine, menthol minty. Don't touch my hand when you breathe. You can touch down here. Don't touch my hand when you breathe. All right, do this. Put your hand in. A little visualization. All right, you're at the beach. We're on the sandbar, right? We're hanging out. It's July. It's hot. Caroline's got a bucket of water out of the ice chest, and you don't know it. You're looking at the water, looking for dolphins. And she walks up behind you and throws a whole bucket of ice water on you. What are you going to do? No, is that really what you're going to do?
No.
Ice water hits you in the back. What are you going to do?
Scream and turn
Before you
around
scream, what are you going to do?
and push her over.
Before you push her over, what's the very first thing your body's going to do when you get hit with ice water in the back?
Feel the coldness?
Yes, I guess you'll feel the coldness. What will your reaction be? Oh, I feel the coldness. We need to go. I got some ice out there with the shrimp. We need to throw some icy water on William so he can go. That's what you would do, I think, if you're like most people. Maybe you're not like most people. Okay, and when you do that, when you gasp suddenly, you get natural again. You don't think about it. when you think about breathing, when you do it weird. Try that. Take a real deep, sudden gasp breath. Open your mouth to do it. Look, I'm a little old lady. Look at me. Your hand even went up when you did it. Sit up straight. Sit up straight. Put your leg down. Open your mouth and take a big gasp breath. That's better. We got a little motion down here. You're still throwing your chest up, but at least you got some air down there. All right. Hey, Mom and Dad, we got to work on diaphragmatic breathing.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Okay. So that's like really crucial. And listen to me. Mr. Vigo will not mention that until sometime in 7th grade when he realizes none of y'all breathe right. Because you can see how long it's taken us to talk about it with just you. And it's almost impossible to teach a whole class how to do it. You can tell them, but only certain people will figure it out. So you're going to really have to work on that yourself to figure it out. Okay, enough on that. But just be thinking about getting that air down when you take a breath and just, play with it. Here's the last exercise and I'll leave you alone. You can do this when you're walking. Just don't let your friends see you. They'll think you're strange. All right, so you're walking along, right? It's called inhale 16, exhale 16. So you're just walking, go on. So 16 each, right? You don't have to be walking to do it. Obviously, when you're walking, it's going to have. You know what happens if you inhale for 16 beats? You'll have to put it down low because your neck can't hold that much air. You won't be able to inhale. Try it. Oh, just breathe like a flute player. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You got to exhale for 16 beats too. That makes you use your lungs to control it with your diaphragm. All right, so it's a little awkward for you. And you know why you do it walking? So that you don't cheat and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, I inhale for 16 beats. And if you're running, that's really good exercise. Okay, so when nobody's looking to think that there's something strange about William Owen,
I think a lot of people already think there's
well then you
something
can just
strange about
you can just go ahead and confirm their suspicions and walk around the school and.
Most
But
people that be normal behavior.
it's probably better. You could do it up climbing the steps. You can do it while you're playing video games. You just have to kind of think about it. All right, 4 bars on 1 breath. Chin down flat.
Wrong song.
Embellishment. All right, do this. Just take the first note and hold it for 16 beats. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, good. I think we might have made a dent there because you couldn't do that. Sometimes it helps if you just don't have the fingers to worry about. But just practice doing that. So take the first note of any one of your exercises and see if you can hold it at least 16 beats on 1 breath without your tone going off like you're dying. Mm-hmm. Okay. Play Old MacDonald for me. Let me watch, see what else I see here.
This will be the first time.
You haven't worked on
Sight
that?
reading?
Not.
Sight
Have you done the
reading.
Saints yet?
Let's see if we can sight read it.
Okay. Da, da, da. Don't say huh, huh, huh. That's huff playing. All right, William. Bad if you're sight reading. Why don't you do something? You say the name of the note as I point to it. What we used to call tracking in MIE. Ready? 2, ready, go. Rest.
A, G, G, F. C, F, C, D, C, A, G, F.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
C, F.
Rest. 1 and 2
F,
and F. Okay, and you know why he hadn't gotten to? Oh, you got eighth notes. Oh, I see. You're getting to eighth notes. Have you had any of those yet? 2 notes on 1 beat. Okay.
We've had half notes.
How do you count that?
1 N.
Well, yeah, except it's on 4. But yes,
Oh yeah, that would be 4.
the main thing I wanted to hear you say was and. All right. Have you played RLE yet?
For we've just skimmed over it for
Well, here,
5 minutes in class.
It's a duet. It's
Which
a
line
duet.
you want to play, top or bottom?
Top.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's actually the first time I've really played that.
Good, you did all right. If you listen to the length of your notes and the length of my notes, how would you describe the difference in the way we're playing them?
You played longer.
Right.
I didn't play long enough.
The technical word for that is sustained notes, or just holding them full day. Okay, so RLE, andante is a fancy Italian word. It means not too fast. It's like a love song, and you got kind of a bumpy love life going, RLE, baby, I sure love you. If I had some money, dear, I'd buy you a ring. You wouldn't get very far with RLE, would you, if you sang her the song that way? All right, so let's play it again. You play it like it's supposed to be. Now, you know what the secret is? Good breath control, so you ain't gonna try.
I'm gonna try Frere Jacques. I can do
In a minute, but let's do this one again while we're on it.
Okay.
1, 2, good breath. Now, good. You were getting smoother and more sustained as we went along there. What does that mean?
Mezzo forte.
Hey, you speak of the Italian. What does it mean in English?
Not too loud, not too soft.
Medium. Mezzo is the Italian word for medium. What's that?
Piano means soft.
Right.
And
What's that thing there?
We don't know what that's called, but I know it means like get progressively softer or louder depending on which.
Right. The one that says get louder, and this is exactly the reverse of greater than and less than in math.
Right.
That's a crescendo.
Or crescendo.
Or crescendo. And then logically, this one is a decrescendo. It's like an accelerate and a deaccelerate. Crescendo and decrescendo, if you really say it correctly. And then what's this bird's eye looking thing?
The fermata. You play as long as the conductor wants you to.
That's exactly right. You have to watch
Mr. Vigo was very mean to us one day when he just held
it, yes. Conductor's prerogative. If you're playing a solo, you get to decide. All right, so we're going to do Frere Jacques.
I'll do number 1.
Okay. Take it away, Earl. All right, I want you to do something before I even come in. You know what a slur is, right? When you don't
Yes.
tongue, I want you to tongue the first note and play it like this. Okay, so I did tongue where you had the repeated C's, but I want solid sound. All right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, be careful, because here's what I'm hearing, William. You're kind of doing the old huff and puff tongue. So you're actually throat tonguing. It's just puffs of air, which is typical. It's kind of what beginner bands sound like, which is why if you start playing these sustained notes, you'll sound about 2 years older than you actually are as a player. But be sure that you play all the way through on one breath with that breath control from that deep diaphragmatic breathing, that huff. Also, then you'll be tonguing. But right now, I want you just to tongue the first note and slur 3, tongue the first note and slur 3, like this. And we'll keep on like that. Take a breath there and then. Okay, let's play it together one time, then we'll do it this round. 2, ready. Okay, so you want to keep the sound going. Play that first note and hold it for 8 beats. 1, 2, ready, go. Play that first note and hold it for 8 beats. Play that first note and hold it 8 beats. You know what to do. All right, so I want you to think about what the air was doing while you were holding that note. It was continually blowing, wasn't it?
Right.
All right, now can you do that and move your fingers at the same time? Let's see if you can. 1, 2, 3. I'll catch up with you. Go ahead. Let's take the bottom line. Ready? All right. Have you learned this B flat yet?
Yes.
Learned this A?
Yes.
You know that low G?
Yes. I
So-
taught myself the
Because
most.
you can freak Mr. D one day like which is how the song actually goes. All right, now let's do this. It was better. It was better. I could hear you sustaining the tone. Just, if you do tongue, you want your tongue to actually come off that reed and make it. If that's what you're trying to do, and even if you're tonguing long notes, you still want the tongue da da. But right now, I'm really thinking about your breathing, so I want you to slur these phrases. It'll be prettier anyway. All right, you start, and then I'll come in when you get to 2. Ready? 2, and. You gotta go to E here, though.
Yeah.
Freak you out. I'm stuck in a time
Or you
warp.
came in a measure too early.
Yes, I was playing along with him, dear.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, ready, go. exactly that. You were going to work on that.
What was it again?
C, C sharp, D, D flat, C. This little exercise and a little thing. I mean, we worked on that. Go slow and keep it. All right, play the C. Play C. Stop. Put this down. Play that note. Put it down. Hold it down. Lift 2 fingers. Just 2. 1, 2. All right, play the C. Play the C. Stop. Play that note. Stop. Lift these 2 fingers. Play D. Put those 2 fingers back down. Lift the little finger. Right. All right, now you should go slowly so that you don't get a bunch of happening in there. No mayhem. And the only reason for doing that is to keep you from getting into this habit, because you won't get to this note till later this year at best.
I have been getting to keep my pinky there.
Right.
Even though we're not going to play that note.
Right, and kind of the same thing with this one. And then, we talked about this. But
right, I know that. I just shouldn't let it hang out here.
Right, well, this is a little easier because you got something, you got your thumb holding the bottom part of the horn, but it's the tendency is to put that, and we talked about this also, right? Because you're not going to learn these keys till 7th grade probably. They're really handy keys, but they're rare use keys. When you need them, they're like a spare tire. You can't do without them, but you don't want to use them as a finger rest. Okay? I can't remember what were the 3 things. We were going to do this exercise. We were going to not do this. I guess the thumb was the other thing. What are you looking at? Is there a cat sneaking up on us? No. I'm doing my impressions of Putty. All right, let's see. Let's do one more thing before we got the hard rock blues. It's an encore, obviously. All right. What speed you like to go? 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, and get that 10 down. 2, 3. That one down. You must have been practicing that in band rehearsal.
Ooga chaka, ooga chaka.
Actually, practice that one more alone than what we did in the band room.
Play it again. 1, 2, 3, and.
Rock and roll.
Most of the 6th graders in my band wouldn't have been able to comprehend playing that way or playing something different.
Yes, I was checking to see if you could comprehend that.
You did, William. You did good. Can y'all do RLE one more time as a duet? It was so nice. Hi, Caroline.
Well, maybe if Caroline will stand up there and pretend to be RLE so we can serenade her. I like your new hairdo, girl. Mm-hmm. All right. Grandma wants an encore from RLE. Where is she? Oh. You playing the top line? Maybe bring your... Look, you might be holding it a little too tight. Most people are bad about doing this, but maybe you can come out a little bit, but get that chin off it. 1, 2, good, rest. good stopping place.
Very nice.